We are starting with the audio test. This is Vivo X200 Pro versus Google Pixel 8 Pro. 4K 30 FPS using the selfie camera. Look at the video quality and the audio. We are comparing these two phones because of the price point. You may find these phones similarly priced on the market today. Both phones has triple camera setup. We got that 200 megapixel telephoto on Vivo X200 Pro. And of course, the color science of Pixel 8 Pro. I think that's it for our audio test. Let the battle begin. On the widest portrait mode, you got 1x on Vivo X200 Pro and only 1.5x on Google Pixel 8 Pro. So if you need that wider shot, then X200 Pro is the way to go.
With a twist.
If you look on my shoulders, you got better edge detection on X200 Pro, while it's a hit or miss on Pixel 8 Pro. But in terms of natural looking tone, I'd go with Pixel 8 Pro.
Get ready for it. Get ready. I'm in my...
On 2x, we got creamier background blur on X200 Pro. It's really good in also adding that excellent edge detection on X200 Pro. It's really good on portrait mode. Well, if you need that more beautified portrait shot, I think Pixel 8 Pro is actually highly beautified in process compared to X200 Pro, because you'd still have more details on Vivo. Pixel 8 Pro got natural looking but softer skin. We got two zoom portraits on X200 Pro, only 3x on Pixel 8 Pro, but still both has really good portrait shots. The skin is brighter in Vivo X200 Pro and popping out a little bit more, which some people might prefer. We have 3 focal lengths on Pixel 8 Pro and we have 5 focal lengths on Vivo X200 Pro. On selfie portrait mode, we got more detailed face on Pixel 8 Pro and beautified on X200 Pro. I think this is a matter of personal taste. If you like a more beautified look, then go with X200 Pro. But if you like the more detailed face, then Google Pixel is still the perfect choice. Now we're vlogging using the selfie camera on both phones. 4K 60 FPS. I thought people would like to see the highest resolution frame rates on both phones. So in terms of details, both phones are very detailed. A bit noisier on Google Pixel 8 Pro. So probably your question today here is, why are we comparing both phones? They're pretty similar in terms of pricing. You got 7 major OS upgrade on Pixel 8 Pro and only 4 on Vivo X200 Pro. So actually, Pixel will outlive Vivo X200 Pro in terms of software support. So I thought comparing both phones because they're similarly priced on the market today. Also in terms of colors and video quality, we got a warmer white balance on Vivo X200 Pro, looking at my shirt, and more contrasty look on Pixel 8 Pro. Actually, they're both the same in terms of colors, just a bit warmer on Vivo X200 Pro. I think that's it for the selfie video recording vlogging test in 4K 60 FPS. Now let's check the rear cameras. Now this is the rear camera vlogging test, starting with ultra-wide 4K 60 FPS on both phones. We can shoot 60 FPS on both phones for vlogging. In terms of field of view, I like the wider field of view of Pixel 8 Pro, 0.6. It's really wide compared to the 0.7 of Vivo X200 Pro. But in terms of colors, I like the skin tone on Vivo X200 Pro. Look at my hands. But you can see the wider field of view on Google Pixel 8 Pro, right? In terms of colors, I like Vivo X200 Pro better in terms of the colors. I think it's natural looking compared to the Pixel competition. In terms of autofocus, they're both the same. And checking my face on a close-up, this is what it looks like. Now let's check the main sensor. Now we're checking out the main sensor on both phones. Still sit down talking head video vlogging test on both phones. 4K 60 FPS. We can shoot 4K 60 FPS on the main sensor. Almost similar specs in terms of the sensor, 50 megapixel each. We have 1/1.28 inch sensor on Pixel 8 Pro and 1/1.31 inch on Vivo X200 Pro. So just 0.03. You have dual face detection autofocus on Google Pixel 8 Pro and face detection autofocus on Vivo X200 Pro. Later, we will check the autofocus outdoors when we do the video stabilization and zoom test. Checking the details and the video quality. Again, I like the colors on Vivo X200 Pro, but it closely matched Pixel 8 Pro, to be honest. Maybe just the screen of these two phones. But the background blur is really good because it's almost like 1-inch sensor for both phones, right? I think you have a brighter video on Pixel 8 Pro and more details on Vivo X200 Pro. Looking at my face close-up, this is what it looks like on both phones using the main sensor. Now let's check the zoom. Now this is the zoom test on both phones, 5x optical zoom on Pixel 8 Pro and 3.7x on Vivo X200 Pro. Let's switch to 5x on Vivo X200 Pro. Now again, this is the 5x telephoto on Google Pixel 8 Pro and 5x crop on that 200 megapixel 3.7x on Vivo X200 Pro. In terms of video quality, I like Vivo X200 Pro in terms of details, sharpness, and even the colors on the zoom. I think in terms of camera performance, both the images and videos, the biggest selling point of Vivo X200 Pro is the telephoto. You have a really good 200 megapixel 3.7x sensor. I think that's it for the video recording test. Now let's check the image quality. On the ultra-wide, we got a wider field of view on Pixel 8 Pro compared to Vivo competition. The sky is also brighter, lighter, and natural looking. Indoors, X200 Pro is crushing the shadows a little bit, but in terms of highlights, Vivo is controlling it better.
Go on and do what you do. All of this looks like gold.
On the main sensor, again, you got a brighter image on Pixel 8 Pro, but the contrast is stronger on X200 Pro. Also, the white balance is warmer. On close-up, both phones are really detailed. I like the colors, and I feel like they closely match each other. This is the size natural of X200 Pro.
Are you seeing clear? Are you seeing clear? All the colors here.
Now going to the zoom, you got more details on X200 Pro, but Pixel 8 Pro is not so bad. But if you're nitpicking on these two phones on a bigger screen, you would see that you got more details on Vivo X200 Pro.
I like where this is going.
Now in terms of the farther zoom, we got 100 times zoom on Vivo X200 Pro.
Make you look twice, make you look twice. All of this looks like gold. What a touch, what a touch, what a touch turns to gold.
The biggest difference here is the slow motion. We got 4K 120 FPS on the latest Vivo, while you only have full HD on Pixel 8 Pro.
All the colors here, all the colors.
Now we're moving on to the outdoor video test, starting with the selfie camera, 4K 60 FPS. We're shooting on the highest frame rate and resolution for both phones. In terms of color profile, I think bluer on Vivo X200 Pro in terms of the colors of the grass. Natural looking on both phones, really similar. And also my skin tone, very detailed. I like the colors and details on Vivo X200 more compared to Pixel 8 Pro. Let's check the autofocus. And let's check video stabilization. This is in 60 FPS. Alright, let's check the rear cameras. Now this is the rear camera, also in 4K 60 FPS. We're shooting on the highest frame rate and resolution for both phones. We can shoot 8K 30 FPS on Vivo X200 Pro, but for the sake of apple to apple comparison, we're just doing 4K 60 FPS. So you can see you have a wider field of view on Google Pixel 8 Pro on the ultra wide 0.5x versus 0.6x. In terms of colors, which is better, you got a darker Vivo X200 Pro. It crushes the blacks on this area compared to a brighter Pixel 8 Pro, better exposed. Color of the sky, bluer on Pixel 8 Pro, but both phones are natural looking. Really good video quality. Let's check the autofocus. Also very good on both phones. And the video stabilization, 4K 60 FPS. Okay, switching to the main sensor. This is 23mm versus 24mm respectively. So Vivo X200 Pro, 23mm, 24mm on Pixel 8 Pro. So 1mm difference. In terms of colors, more vivid on Vivo X200 Pro compared to Pixel 8 Pro. Look at the color of the grass and the sky. Yes, natural looking tone on Pixel 8 Pro. Checking the autofocus. Also very good. Now let's check the video stabilization. We're shaking these two phones a bit. Now going for straight up. Which phone is better? Now we have 3.7x on Vivo X200 Pro. This is a 200 megapixel sensor versus 50 megapixel on Pixel 8 Pro. Both are really good. Look at the subject separation and looking at the colors. Again, natural looking on both phones. So that's really good. Let's switch to 5x on Vivo X200 Pro just to test. I think you have more details on Vivo X200 Pro. Looking at that leaves. And checking the stabilization while walking. On Pixel 8 Pro, it's shaking on the phone screen right now. So I will check this in post-production. Maybe it's like iPhone recording. It's shaky on the screen, but once you get the recording, it stabilizes the footage. And going for the 4D zoom, we got 20x, wow, on Vivo X200 Pro. And also 20x on Pixel 8 Pro. Neck-to-neck comparison. Switching back to the ultra-wide. Which phone do you think is better? On the ultra-wide, we got a brighter Pixel 8 Pro looking at the Jeep and the trees, but although darker, we might have better details on Vivo X200 Pro. Pitch black, we got a darker X200 Pro but less noisier compared to the competition.
We the whole party, yeah, we poppin'. Turn your heads when the beat droppin'. 3, 2, 1, go on and lose your minds.
On the main sensor, both phones are really good. Just a difference on the colors. You got brighter colors on Pixel 8 Pro, and on pitch black condition, again, I think I like the image better more on X200 Pro. It's cleaner compared to the noisier Pixel 8 Pro. 3.7x versus 5x. I think you got more details on Vivo X200 Pro. It is also sharper, but Pixel 8 Pro is brighter compared to the Vivo competition. And lastly, verdict on pitch black condition. I'd still go with Vivo X200 Pro. Alright, after the night shot test, we're doing low light video recording starting with the Selfie 4K 30 FPS. We can also shoot 60 FPS on both phones. In terms of the 30 FPS video recording, noisier on Pixel 8 Pro. And you got a warmer tone on Vivo X200 Pro. Let's switch to the 60 FPS. Now this is the 60 FPS look on both phones. Worse on Pixel 8 Pro again. Noisier compared to a better looking, better contrast Vivo X200 Pro. We can also shoot 1.4x and 4x on Pixel 8 Pro, and we got 2x on Vivo X200 Pro. You got better zoom on Pixel 8 Pro, but you got better details on Vivo X200 Pro. Alright, now let's check the rear cameras of both phones. Starting with the ultra-wide 4K 30 FPS, you got a wider field of view on Google Pixel 8 Pro compared to Vivo X200 Pro. In terms of video quality, I like the colors on Vivo X200 Pro compared to Pixel 8 Pro. Again, natural looking but a bit dull on Vivo X200 Pro. In terms of details, I would go with Vivo X200 Pro. You got better details, more details on the floors compared to Pixel 8 Pro. Now let's check the main sensor. Now this is the main sensor battle again in 4K 30 FPS. In terms of video quality, I think this is the best sensor to use in low light video recording for both phones. So in terms of video quality, I like the natural looking tone of Pixel 8 Pro. But I also love the warmer look on Vivo X200 Pro. Checking the autofocus on low light. I think it's faster on Vivo X200 Pro. And in terms of the quality, again, both phones are really good. You got a lot of details on Vivo X200 Pro looking at the floors compared to the smoother, dull-looking Pixel 8 Pro. Again, nitpicking on both phones in terms of the video quality, but both phones are really good on the main sensor. And lastly, we're testing the zoom quality of both phones. So we have 5 times 7x on Vivo X200 Pro. I actually challenged Vivo X200 Pro and go 5x crop on the 200 megapixel telephoto sensor. But I still, in terms of video quality, I would take Vivo X200 for the sharpness and details on. This one is very good compared to an okay video quality of Pixel 8 Pro. I think that's it for our low light video test. Now let's check the video resolution. And lastly, we have the video resolution. We got 4K 60 FPS, the highest frame rate and resolution on Pixel 8 Pro. And this is Vivo X200 Pro in 8K 30 FPS video recording, twice as what we have on Pixel 8 Pro. Which phone do you prefer? Same price but different camera performance. Is it worth it to buy the older Pixel 8 Pro or upgrade to Vivo X200 Pro, which is the latest? I think that's it for a camera comparison video. Thank you guys for watching. See you guys in the next one.